I am proud to introduce to you our athletic director at Northwestern, Mr. Franz.
Well, I guess I can be a decent stand-in. I don't know if I can replace Luis, what he did at the Boston Marathon. It'll be an excellent topic. I'm excited to be here, and always a pleasure to see so many friendly faces. I don't think there's a face in here that I don't know, that I don't get a chance to visit with, either downtown or wherever we're at. And I'd say every person in here has given to the athletic program in one way or another, time, service, money or talent, something. And so for that, I'm eternally grateful to it. And I'll try to give you a quick little rundown kind of where things are at. I'm always happy to go out and speak on behalf of our athletic program and behalf of the university. I think I work at one of the greatest universities in the country. We have great leadership through Dr. Cunningham and great programs where we're able to serve so many young people in so many diverse different areas and degrees, and athletics is just one piece of that I think can play a part in the education of many young people throughout northwestern Oklahoma and beyond. First of all, on behalf of 450 student athletes and approximately 60 coaches, I'd like to say thank you to you. Nobody sometimes quite realizes how many people do entail, that make up our athletic department. But we've got, from our graduate assistants to our student assistants to our assistants to our head coaches, to corral 450 plus student athletes, it takes a good number of people. And I have a great group of people that I work with every day that do a great job along that way, and they keep our young people, I think, on the straight and narrow. I'll be the first one to say we're far from perfect. We'll make our share of mistakes. We'll have young people, we'll have coaches make mistakes, but I think for the most part, we try to do some good service within the community and give people something to be excited about. It's been kind of a unique year. The last 2 years, we've ranked number 12 out of number 12 in the GAC. And that's a Great American Conference. And what they do at the end of the year, they point where all the places that you finished in the GAC athletically, and we've been 12. My first 2 years, our first 2 years that we were legitimate in the GAC, we were 12th and 12th. We jumped up to 9th this year, but what our commissioner said, we had the largest increase in the GAC's been going for about 7 years. The largest increase, 26.5 points. Increase in the history of the GAC. So we made some progress. I thought we'd maybe jumped a little bit higher, but the number of points that we jumped was sizable. And let's face it, everybody does love to win. We do a lot of things that I'll talk about academically and community service wise, but everybody likes to win and everybody likes a winner. And I think we're trying to do that on the field and in the classroom alike. Currently, right now, if you've been following, rodeo is in full swing at the College National Finals in Casper. We're off and running. Our men's and women's team both made it. Our men are having a whale of a go of it right now. We're sitting in second, which is very, very, very good. Stockton, when I met with Stockton earlier in the year, he said, "Brad, I think we've got the most talented rodeo team that we've had since I've been here." And I said, "Well, Stockton, you're a world champion. For you to say that, that's pretty good." He said, "Brad, I'm just telling you, we got talent." And it's been that way through the whole year. Our women finished second in the Central Plains region. Our men finished second. The Central Plains region by far the toughest. That has Southwestern, Southeastern, us, Oklahoma Panhandle. We're sitting 1-2 out in Casper right now. Is Oklahoma Panhandle at 1, and we're number 2. So that just tells you where this region is and how competitive it is and what we do. And when you put 120 rodeo student athletes together, and that's all what makes up our rodeo. We have the largest rodeo program, to my knowledge, in the nation. We don't know of anybody that's larger. Nobody's been able to. It's fun, and those young people work hard, they play hard, they do their work in the classroom, they get things done, and to see them, 10 of them, both teams qualify nationally and have some leaders. Cody Devers is just won the bulldogging first round, and Bridger Anderson won it the second day. There's just a lot of good things, and our women are performing well, so it'll be a fun time to kind of watch how they go. But they had a great year. The Ranger Rodeo was a success this fall. When you talk to those people that come in, they can't believe the hospitality that they receive in Alva. And what they do, and I meet many of our rodeo student athletes when they come in, and their dad and mom come pulling up in the dually and the trailer and the like, and they're just welcomed and they love it here. I rarely have a rodeo student athlete go home unappreciated and or changed by their experience at Northwestern and Alva. So that's just a fun program that's going. All of our other sports have finished up their season. We'll see how rodeo finishes up, but it's fun. And I got to give a lot of credit to Stockton Graves. Everybody knows Stockton locally, even by his great success that he has and is still having on the pro circuit. But what a great human being, and the work he does of getting those kids, student athletes, academically and challenged. There's a lot of things. We got a couple projects that we want to do. As you leave town, the old sale barn has really started to take shape to be a great place for our rodeo team to meet and build, and it's a lot of fun, and we're still using the fairgrounds, and it's good. So we just got a lot of people that are chipping in to make a lot of things go with that program. We've had a lot of good things happen in this spring. If I send out a monthly letter that's probably a handful of you, maybe half of you get in the room. If you'd like to get on that, all you have to do is give me your address. I mail out about 9 of them a year. Once a month, I do a recap of every sport, what they're doing, how they're doing, who they played, what they've done. When I came in, one of the things that was brought to my attention was that, Brad, let's get away from everything being digital and let's get back to the pen and paper. And I listened, and I put my cell phone number at the bottom of every letter that I'm write, that somebody can call me with any problem, any issue that they have. You don't have to wait, you don't have to get in line, you don't have to schedule a meeting, just call me on my cell and we'll work to get it fixed. If it's something that I can have a hand in, I'll surely do that. But that letter, I talk about every program, where they are. They might be in recruiting, they might be in the middle of their season, they might be in their championship, they might be in practice, but it's something that you can take. It's usually 2 or 3 pages long. You can read half of it, throw it down, pick it up 2 days later, finish reading it, give it to your neighbor, give it to things. But I implore you to just give me your address, and I'll get you on that and keep you up to date on athletics. And obviously you can find it out online, but there's another thing for you. We did have one leadership change this year. Craig Liddell, as many of you know, is our soccer coach, done a great job. Got an offer to go back to Enid, so he went back there to take an assistant principalship and work at building their soccer program back up. He'd been with us 3 years. Great human being, he did a great job. Just a situation he could not turn down. His wife still was employed in Enid, so we had to say goodbye to him. Tomorrow there will be a press release. I can't give you the name of the gentleman that we've hired, but we've hired someone that has competed at the national championship level, wants to be here, is excited to be here, can't wait to be here, loves Alva. On his visit to Alva, was just absolutely bowled over by everybody. When he'd walk into a restaurant, when he'd walk into a store, everybody said hello. Loves the university, and I think we're going to have someone that's really going to be able to continue to see our soccer program grow. So watch for a press release coming out on that the next day, and it'll be in the newspaper here shortly. But I'm excited about that. Our girls, that soccer team, we had 8 teams this spring have above a 3.0. So that means of the whole team together, 8 of them had an average above of a 3.0. And that soccer team had a 3.49. So there wasn't many B's, much less any C's happening with that group. And I can say that about a large group of ours. But we had a team for the overall athletic department, 450 plus. We had a 3.06. And I like to say that's not something that we can game at many institutions. The coaches do the advising, the people do the advising. Here we got Dr. Meharry, he advises, telling them we've got our kids in the classes that they need to be in to graduate. They need to be in to get that. You can't put a kid in a class anymore to say, hey, let's try to get you eligible. The NCAA requires that you be on track at the end of your freshman year 25% of the way, at the end of your sophomore year 40% of the way, at the end of your junior year 60% of your way, so they keep you on track toward progress, toward a degree. So the classes that our student athletes are in are classes that they have to have. So I'm pretty proud of that GPA and the work that our young people are doing in the classroom. That goes to speak about our faculty. You know, I sit down with many of the students and their parents that come in, and I tell them, you know, our faculty will not, we have a beautiful learning center where we do tutoring and all the things, but our faculty will be the first one to say, before you go to tutoring, come by and see me. And I can say that, and I said, if you ever get turned away by a faculty member, come directly and see me, because I got to meet that faculty member, because I haven't had anybody turn you away. And that's a fact. Our faculty has been that way since I was here 30 years ago. You could go to a faculty member, and they may not be able to help you just that minute, but come back in 30 minutes, I'll sit down with you, we'll go over those problems, and let's see if we can get you back on track towards what you need. And that goes a long way to keeping our student athletes successful. Really proud of the work that the coaches do. You know, I've got a different way that when I coach, the first thing I'm going to check is does this coach really care about our student athletes in 2 ways. One as a student and 2 as people. I think winning will take care of itself if you've got somebody that wants to take care of them as people, see them grow and mature as young adults. Most of the coaches bring every recruit by my office, and I tell them 2 things. If we send home Bobby or Susie home and he or she's digressed to the point where they won't take out the trash or they won't do what you say, please call me, because we aren't doing our job. Pick up the phone and dial me, because I need to get on that. But that happens. Kids go out to college, they digress. And I really take a lot of pride that we're trying to make young people grow and mature, and we aren't always successful. There's plenty of failures, I'll be the first to say, but that's a goal, and that's one of the things that I ask every coach before I hire them, and before the university and Dr. Cunningham puts her stamp on them, that they are here to help our young people grow as people. Second of all, you got to make sure that they want to be a student. It does no good. Our graduation rate is sacred to us. We want that to be the best it can possibly be, and the coach has to be there, because I tell each one of the students, when you have a problem, we hire our coaches for one reason: solve those problems. If you've got problems who to see with financial aid, they'll get you to financial aid. If you can't catch up to an instructor, they'll help you catch the instructor. If you can't figure out where to get your car fixed, they'll tell you 6 mechanics in town. If they don't know where to get a flat fixed, they'll tell you where to get a flat fixed. Whatever they're going to be, they're going to be those things. If your financial aid's fixed, they're going to walk you down to the financial aid office. That coach becomes a surrogate parent, even though they don't act like a parent, but they'll become a surrogate parent to help them along the way. And that's where I think we can help them grow as people. And then finally, I think we got people that want to be successful on the field and try to provide a winner. But that winning takes care of itself when the student athletes know that you care about them as people and as students. We just finished 2 comprehensive reviews of the athletic program. Many of you know about the Higher Learning Commission. That's where they come in and they accredit the university. We just finished that 3 or 4 years ago, and they accredited us for a 10-year review. But we have the same thing in athletics. Ours is called the Institutional Self-Study Guide, the ISSG. They come in, and every 5 years you have to do a year-long study of your program. And Sadia Jones, our Associate Athletic Director and Senior Women's Administrator, headed that up. and we finished that and passed that with flying colors. So we've finished that self-study guide, and that is comprehensive. But that goes back into the NCAA. It asks, I think it was 96 pages long worth of questions that they dig into everything that you can have. Along with that, it was our year to have a compliance blueprint review. Compliance is huge in the NCAA, so much as it is self-compliance. You have to be checking up on yourself. And we had what was called a compliance blueprint review, where somebody comes in from the NCAA and they start at the beginning of the year with tons of questions, and then you start going through the process of answering them. Then they come in at the end of the year and spend 3 days on campus, going around, meeting with faculty, meeting with people, meeting with the registrar, and saying, hey, this is what athletics says they're doing. Are they really doing this? And we came out of that with flying colors also. So I'm really proud of our staff. Tim Lauderdale is Associate Athletic Director, Sadia Jones, Associate Athletic Director, do tremendous jobs with me on that, and Sadia led both those because they both fell directly in her area, and we came out extremely well. So I feel good about where we stand. There are many people that questioned and sometimes said, should we go NCAA? You know, Dr. Cunningham led the way, and it's been a boon. I can't tell you what a great thing it's been to go that way. I love the NAI. I was here during a couple of tours when we were NAI, and it was great. But I think the NCAA has given us a chance to brand and take our athletic programs and institutional profile even higher to be a part of the NCAA. It's a lot of fun. You know, we've one big thing that we've done this year is we've added women's track and field. Many of you know Jill Lancaster is a former Alva standout student athlete who competed at the University of Oklahoma and completed in the Olympic time trials. She came back to take care of her family, and Vern Metcalf talked to her about coming and seeing me to be our cross-country coach. She took over cross-country. She's done doing an unbelievable job. We sat down and talked and said, you know, one area that we might be missing in providing an opportunity for young people is track and field. And we sketched out a deal with the high school to be able to use their facilities, and we added women's track and field, and she's already got 25 new young ladies that would not be at Northwestern. They're here because of what that we have track and field, and it's exciting. And Jill is just, I mean, one of the hardest workers I've ever been around with the work that she does. But she's got ladies coming from all over the state and the nation to compete in our first year of women's track and field. So that adds to our footprint also, which will be a lot of fun. But she does a great job. Football is just around the corner. You forget, we're starting to see it already. The football starts up. We just had the golf tournament fundraiser. Matt Walter did a great job with that. And we had, I think, 31 of a total of 36 teams and people coming from all over. And it was so great to see. The auction was successful. The tournament was successful and had a lot of fun. A lot of people back for that. And Matt's got, I think, an exciting team. It's taken its time. We've won 3, we've won 4, we've won 5. Last year we lost 3 games by a total of 11 points. And I think we're on the verge of taking that next step. I can tell you that he and his staff work countless hours, and I'm excited about the next year and what football has to go with it. But you'll be getting the season tickets, and the passes will be coming out. Volleyball this past year, we went from 20 losses to 20 wins in 1 year. Changed coaches. We went from 7-20 to 20-11. So we're seeing some things that Jeremy White is a new young coach we brought in, has done a good job. Sean Durden in men's basketball flipped the record from 13 wins to 22 wins, the 5th highest win total in Ranger history. That you don't think about that, but I mean, we've been playing basketball a long time at Northwestern, and to have 22 wins, which is the 5th highest total, says an awful lot. So there's just things. Baseball, Ryan Bowen won the most games in the GAC era, winning 24 games. That's been exciting. The softball, Jill DeVries, just got a lot of things, I think, that are happening positively with it. Tasha Dieselhorst As we know, Tasha Turney, Randy's daughter's doing a great job. We've been out of the playoffs just 2 years in a row by one game. We're ready to turn the corner. But she does a fantastic job, and she just had 2 camps. We had 65 young ladies on camp for a day camp, and then we had 16 teams in town for a team camp. So last but not least, I'd just like to say, my biggest thing is thank you. If there's ever a project that you know of that you're going, God, who do we call? God, we need about some people to do this, or we need 40 people to do this. Give me a holler, because we're always looking for those times. We've always got our hand out. I won't lie to you. Help us here, help us here, help us here. But I can get a crew of 30 basketball players together in less than probably 2 hours if we've got a project that needs to be done. I can get 40 football players together in a blink of an eye if there's a project needs to be done, and whatever it might be. If you're just thinking, I wonder if Brad can help with it, call, because if we can, community service is something that we want to do, and it's something that I personally believe in, that not just because the NCAA likes it, I believe that we can give back to the community, because Northwestern and the surrounding communities gives an awful lot to us, and for that I'm eternally grateful. I'm eternally grateful to everybody in this room, and it's just a fun thing. It's fun to be in Alva every day. So I'll answer any questions anybody's got, but with that, I know I probably talked a little bit longer than I need to, but thank you. Yes, sir.
Brad, you've got a lot on your plate.
No, not as much as everybody does.
But we love your passion.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to know, is your graduation rate greater than Bill Johnson?
I don't know what Bill Johnson's is, but I know we're graduating on a 4-year basis about 40%. So, and then they give it to the 6, we keep going. So that is important to us. Yes, sir.
When will the football season take us?
Next 2 weeks. Next passes come out next week. I just wanted to give enough time to kind of close the door on that. About the next 2 weeks, we'll be sending out renewals. Nobody, if anybody asks, nobody loses their parking pass until we've made a phone call, and nobody loses their seat in the gym until I make a phone call. Promise that. That is not going to happen. So it's good.
Brad, I've seen a couple of really exceptional students choose to come to school here at Northwestern because they can get into nursing, some other programs. Do you want to speak to that for a minute?
Well, I mean, I'll give an example, a perfect example of what I believe. For the longest time, there was said that nursing students, you couldn't be a nurse if you wanted to play sports. You couldn't be in business if you wanted to play sports, because the labs felt this time. I debunked that quickly. I don't know how many nurses we have right now, probably 20. Our starting linebacker on a football team just walked across the stage. He'll be back for his 5th year in football. Just walked across the stage in nursing and got his nursing degree. And I think there's 6 soccer girls that are in nursing. There's a ton of that. So and there's not a degree at Northwestern that we're not going to put our students in, because that's why they're here. We'll work around that. And when I coached here, same thing. They might have a lab that they may have to zip out of practice from 3 to 4 and be back at 4 o'clock. Well, they'll be on and get there. But our faculty works well with that, and it is. We've got a lot of shining students, but it goes back to our faculty work with us, and I can't ask for more.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Appreciate it.